Have you ever paused to wonder if the decision to move in with your children after turning 70 might secretly be a ticking time bomb? Are you confident that such a move will only bring comfort and closeness? Think again. What if this seemingly sensible choice could strip you of your financial security, rob you of your cherished independence, and even shatter the relationships you hold dear? I'm here to share my personal story, a heart-wrenching lesson learned when I made this very mistake at 71, and the shocking evidence that proves it can happen to anyone. Over the next few minutes, I will expose the 5 fatal dangers of moving in with your adult children after you turn 70. I'll provide eye-opening examples, hard-hitting scientific evidence from trusted experts, and clear, practical alternatives that you can use to safeguard your future. Ask yourself, is sacrificing years of independence really worth the potential heartbreak and financial ruin? Let's dive deep into the risks before this decision costs you everything. Part 1. Financial ruin, the hidden price tag. The invisible costs that can drain your life savings. Have you calculated the hidden expenses of merging finances with your family? Many seniors believe that moving in with their children will save money, but in reality, this decision can be a one-way ticket to financial disaster. When independent finances merge, boundaries blur and funds meant for your future are often exploited. Top elder financial planners warn that combining households often paves the way for subtle financial exploitation. In fact, recent research from the National Center on Elder Protection reveals that over 90% of financial abuse cases involve close family members. How can you be sure that your hard-earned savings will remain untouched? Consider Linda, a 72-year-old former business owner from Arizona. With the promise of support from her son, she sold her beloved condo for $195,000, only to have her savings gradually siphoned off into a joint account. Within less than a year, nearly $60,000 had disappeared, money diverted to cover family expenses, renovations, and even a new car for her son. When Linda questioned the transactions, she was met with defensiveness and guilt, and by then, her life savings were nearly gone. Ask yourself, is trusting family with your finances truly risk-free? What to do instead? Keep finances separate, always maintain individual bank accounts and assets. Legal protection. Consult with an elder law attorney to establish clear legal boundaries before merging finances. Opt for independent living solutions. Even if you need to be close, consider smaller, independent residences or senior living communities near your family. Part 2. Loss of independence, the silent erosion. When your home becomes a prison instead of a sanctuary. Do you relish making your own decisions, no matter how small? Moving in with your adult children can slowly strip away your ability to make decisions that have defined your independence for decades. Suddenly having to ask permission for routine activities isn't just inconvenient, it can deeply affect your mental well-being. Gerontologists at Northwestern University have found that seniors who lose control over their daily choices experience a rapid decline in mental health. Dr. Elizabeth Morrison, a leading specialist in geriatric psychology, explains that when seniors are forced to adjust to a new household routine, their self-esteem drops drastically, leading to depression, social withdrawal, and even accelerated cognitive decline. Victor, a 75-year-old widower, had proudly lived independently until his daughter convinced him to move into her basement apartment. Within weeks, Victor felt like a guest in his own life, having to ask for permission to visit friends, cook his meals, or even take a walk. His daily routine was hijacked by his daughter's schedule. Soon, Victor became a shadow of his former self. His doctor later diagnosed him with severe depression and noted an alarming cognitive decline. Have you considered how much your independence means to your identity? What to do instead? Prioritize autonomy. If closeness with family is important, explore options like independent senior housing or assisted living communities where you remain in control of your day-to-day decisions. Set clear boundaries, arrange visitation schedules instead of moving in full-time. Choose in-home support, for medical or physical assistance, hire professional in-home care rather than relying solely on family. Part 3. Deterioration of family bonds, when love turns into conflict. How sharing a home can turn family ties into strained relationships. Have you ever felt that living with your children might eventually turn the very foundation of your family relationship into a battlefield? While the idea of being close to family seems heartwarming, the reality can be starkly different. When personal spaces vanish and everyday routines clash, familial love can quickly transform into constant conflict and even permanent estrangement. Family therapists warn that multigenerational living often disrupts established roles. Dr. Samuel Livingston, a family therapy researcher at Boston University, states that more than 70% of these living arrangements eventually result in deep-seated resentment on both sides. He explains, the loss of personal space and blurred responsibilities push family members to adopt roles that are more akin to guests and caretakers than equals, leading to prolonged conflicts. Consider Dorothy, a 74-year-old retired teacher who once enjoyed a close relationship with her daughter, Melissa. After suffering a minor fall, Dorothy moved in with Melissa's family with good intentions. However, soon the dynamics shifted, family dinners became tense and silent. Melissa began treating Dorothy as if she were a dependent child rather than her mother. Even the grandchildren had to lower their voices when she was resting. Over the next few months, the constant friction grew so intense that Dorothy eventually had no choice but to move into a senior apartment. 5 years later, the once strong bond had deteriorated to the point where Dorothy scarcely speaks with Melissa or sees her grandchildren. Ask yourself, could your desire to be close lead to the unraveling of those relationships you hold dear? What to do instead? Maintain separate households, even if you live near your family. Ensure you have your own independent residence. Set clear boundaries. When multigenerational living is necessary, establish clear agreements regarding personal space, decision-making, and shared responsibilities. Engage in regular family counseling. Proactive communication with the help of a mediator can prevent misunderstandings from escalating into lifelong disputes. Part 4. Mental and physical health decline, the hidden cost of losing your autonomy. How disrupted routines and constant stress can deteriorate your well-being. Do you recall the freedom of creating your own daily routine, choosing when to take a walk or prepare a meal? Imagine losing that ability and having your lifestyle dictated by someone else's schedule. Over time, this loss of autonomy can lead to severe mental and physical health declines that no one anticipates. Geriatric specialists and researchers from the Journal of Aging Studies have found that seniors who forfeit their independent living arrangements experience accelerated rates of depression, anxiety, and even the progression of chronic conditions such as heart disease and dementia. Dr. Michael Fenster, chief of geriatric medicine at the Mayo Clinic, explains, stress and the disruption of established routines have a profound impact on the body. When older adults lose control over their environment, it often results in a cascade of health issues that could have been prevented. Take the case of Walter, a 76-year-old man who prided himself on managing his mild arthritis and high blood pressure while living independently. After his son insisted he move in with the family for safety, Walter reluctantly agreed. Almost immediately, his life changed dramatically. The structured schedules of his new environment disrupted his medication routine, curtailed his morning walks, and even interfered with his sleep due to irregular meal times and excessive household noise. Within 6 months, Walter developed anxiety attacks, his blood pressure soared despite additional medication, and he ultimately suffered a minor stroke linked directly to the overwhelming stress and disrupted self-care. Now ask yourself, is the risk of compromised health and accelerated decline really worth sacrificing the control over your own life? What to do instead? Preserve your daily routine. Choose living arrangements that allow you to maintain your own schedule, whether through independent living communities or suitable rented apartments. Utilize in-home care services. Instead of moving in, Consider hiring professional caregivers who come to your home, ensuring you maintain full control over your daily habits. Stay proactive with health monitoring. Regularly consult with your doctor about your living conditions and its impact on your health. Make adjustments before stress takes a physical toll. Part 5. Legal vulnerability and elder abuse risk. Protect your assets and rights. The overlooked danger of losing legal control in a shared living environment. Have you ever considered that combining your life with your children might not only affect your emotional and physical well-being but also put your legal and financial rights at serious risk? When you move in with family, the lack of clear legal boundaries can leave you incredibly vulnerable to exploitation and abuse. Elder law attorneys and advocates warn that seniors living with family members are significantly more at risk for financial abuse, unauthorized property transfers, and other forms of exploitation. According to the American Bar Association's Commission on Elder Law, seniors in such living arrangements are up to 3 times more likely to experience some form of elder abuse. The intricate mix of financial dependency and blurred boundaries creates a dangerous environment where even well-intentioned family members may unwittingly overstep. Consider Elizabeth, a 77-year-old woman who trusted her son completely. After a bout with pneumonia, Elizabeth moved in with her son, Russell, and willingly placed her financial assets under his control by signing a power of attorney document prepared by someone without specialized elder law expertise. Soon after, when Elizabeth expressed her desire to sell a valuable antique collection, she discovered that Russell had already sold several cherished items, claiming they were used to simplify her life. By the time Elizabeth attempted to reclaim her financial independence, it was too late. Her home had been remortgaged and her savings nearly depleted. Ask yourself, can you risk losing everything you've worked for due to blurred financial boundaries? What to do instead? Maintain full legal control. Never add your children to your bank accounts or property deeds without proper legal protection. Consult an elder law specialist. Work with attorneys who specialize in elder law to create airtight care contracts and protection plans. Establish clear, written agreements. If your children are involved in your financial matters, make sure there are formal, legally binding agreements that protect your assets. Regularly review legal documents. Keep your financial and legal paperwork up to date to reflect any changes in your living situation and ensure your rights are always safeguarded. Your independence, health, and dignity are non-negotiable. Act now to protect them. Every decision you make today has the power to shape your tomorrow. The 5 fatal risks we've discussed: financial ruin, loss of independence, deteriorating family relationships, health decline, and legal vulnerability, are not just abstract concerns. They are real dangers that have altered the lives of countless seniors. My own story, along with those of Linda, Victor, Walter, and Elizabeth, illustrates that the decision to move in with your children, though seemingly born out of love and care, may come with a hidden price far greater than anyone ever imagined. Remember, self-reflection is key. Regularly ask yourself if a decision might be compromising your independence, financial security, or health. Embrace healthy alternatives. Explore options like independent senior housing, in-home care services, or legal consultations to keep control over your life. Communicate openly. Ensure that you maintain clear, respectful dialogue with your family without sacrificing your autonomy. Take action today. Don't wait for a crisis to force change. Plan ahead and set up protective measures while you still have full control over your decisions. Ask yourself, is saving a few dollars in the short term really worth risking your lifetime of independence, well-being, and cherished relationships? The choice is yours, and the time to act is now. Protect your assets, honor your independence, and secure a future filled with dignity and true family connections. Thank you for listening. If you found this information valuable, please share this video with your loved ones and subscribe for more crucial advice on safeguarding your retirement and family ties.